And welcome, Toastmasters, those that are really getting your speaking careers, I guess you would say, off the ground or combining it with your current career in order to up level your speaking. So I am glad to be here. I'm hailing from Detroit, Michigan. Again, we're going to be talking about the perfect bio, and not just one bio, but several bios. I think I'm going to hot seat a few people that I can kind of help course correct their bios so that they can do what they're going to do. Now, the purpose of this session is really to put your best brand forward, to brand your best bio. And how we're going to use it depends on the audience, obviously, that we are sharing it with. Maybe I can give you a little bit of my bio. And there's Valerie back in again. A little bit of my background. And this is a longer bio of when I was speaking at an event called What's in a Brand. It was called What's in a Brand. And so this particular bio, me and another person, I don't know if you can see that one is long and one is short. Now, when they don't tell you, when you send a bio, how long should it be, you usually send a longer one because then they can decide how to cut it. So it's always important in the first two paragraphs that you have the best information because they're not going to read it to rewrite it. They're just going to cut it. So this says Pam Perry is an award-winning communications professional. So start right out basically with who I am. She teaches and mentors authors, speakers, and entrepreneurs on how to build a platform and attract media and publishers. She is also the publisher of Speakers Magazine and the founder of the National Association of Black Podcasters. Now, if they didn't do anything else, we know that they have that first paragraph, but then it goes on into the second paragraph that gives a little bit more context. After working with Pam, her clients have been featured on CNN, Radio 1, in Oprah Magazine, Essence, Ebony, Black Enterprise, PBS, and many other major media outlets. Her clients have been offered major publishing contracts and have created successful full-time careers as entrepreneurs, earning six figures. Then the third paragraph kind of gives a context of what other people have said about her. She has been called by Publishers Weekly, because I work with authors. Publishers Weekly for authors knows that is the trade publication for publishing, as a PR guru, and has been featured in many major publications, including and covers that have been in over 100 radio, Her 20-year career in marketing, public relations, and journalism in Detroit, to give it context of where it's from, including the Detroit Free Press, Radio 1, Michigan Chronicle, and the Hub Detroit. Because they didn't ask how long it was, I gave them the longest one, and then it just goes on and say that I'm an author of several books and what type of clients I've worked with. The last paragraph, which is really important for most bios, and they kind of leave that off, but really to give a CTA, and I'll go through this in the presentation. Known as a master connector, known as the master of connecting the right people for the right project at the right time, Pam Perry PR works hard to help her clients brand and get paid like a superstar, which is my tagline. And then for more information, it's pamperrypr.com. And so it's important to always add a CTA to your bio at the end. A lot of times when speakers send me their bios for Speakers Magazine, there's no website there. So it's all this great information, and no one's really going to Google you. They want to know, like, what is a direct link? So the main thing, just always, if you're going to be booked to speak, is always have a press kit with at least 7 pages and a stellar bio. And within the press kit, it's a whole nother thing, but within the press kit is obviously press clips that you've been in. And then also too, you want to share your influence, maybe some awards or things like that. And definitely you want to have photos. So can everybody hear me okay? Chat, is everybody good? Can they hear me? Good. All right. So how to tell your personal brand story with this professional bio that you have. And basically, I'm going to go over some tips and really some positioning. This particular person is an older client of mine, not older in terms of him being older, but an old client from years ago, Dr. Walter Sims. He's from the Atlanta area. So he's a consultant. Again, right off the top, you know what his title is. He's a life coach, public speaker, and where he's from. He starts out with a let yourself blossom. Your situation is not your destination. It should be your motivation. His website is Minister of Motivation, so he leads right with that. Here's a quote here: no one will want for you what you should want for yourself, which is his quote. So reading his bio based on the context of what I just said is positioning. So one of the things he wants you to know right away, he's a dynamic motivational speaker, certified spiritual life coach, author, and a host of the inspirational TV show, the Dr. Walter Sims Show. It says during Dr. Sims' 2 decades plus career, his ministry has touched thousands of lives as well as provided life coaching to current respected life coaches and individuals. He recently started a virtual church, the first church of Periscope. Obviously, that's when Periscope was around. As a spiritual leader by profession, Dr. Sims holds a Master's of Ministry degree, Doctorate of Divinity degree, as well as professional life coach certification. I probably didn't have to say that again because I already said it once. Dr. Sims aims at empowering persons towards significant increases in self-esteem, focus, clarity, and productivity. So that is important because people want to know how to locate you. What does he speak on? What does he help people with? And people are always going to tune in. What can you do for them? That he helps people with self-esteem, focus, clarity, and productivity. As a life coach, he will support, and it says Dr. Sims will support you. And I'll go into that in a little bit. If you write your bio and there's a lot of I's, change it to you. Okay. And it will support you in designing a life that you are fully engaged in, that is joyful and challenging, will reduce stress and distractions that can threaten your peace of mind. Many of Dr. Sims' clients also experience growth and a new awakening in their spiritual life. So one of the tips that Janelle will give you all, which is outside of the tips that I'll give you here, 6 here and then those 10 more, is really to count the number of I's and then flip them to you. If your bio says I at least 25 times, rewrite it. Make the reader the hero. Okay, make the reader the hero. Speak directly to their pain and their desired outcome, I'm sorry, not income. And so why your bio matters. Why is this? Why did you guys want to have someone come in and talk about bios as part of your brand? One, it builds your credibility. It differentiates you, and it opens doors to speaking, media, and career opportunities. That is really the best strategic positioning tool that you really can have. I always tell people, if you're starting out in any type of career as an author and the speaker, one of the first things they're going to ask you for is a headshot and a bio. And the bio cannot sound like an obituary, okay? So the core principle really is the bio is not a resume, all right? It's a positioning tool. It is about persuasion. It is for visibility strategies. That is really, really key. So tip number 1, don't limit yourself to just one bio. Now, the bio that I read you about myself is one particular bio, but I have several ones depending on who the audience is and also where you're placing the bio. So different platforms on social media require different versions of your bio. If you're on Substack, anybody on Substack? I love Substack. Substack is a really good platform right now to get on to position yourself as a thought leader or a subject matter expert. So Substack is short and sharp. It's really just about a couple of sentences. LinkedIn, a little bit more expanded, gives you more credibility. One of the things that we go back and forth with LinkedIn for the bio that you would put on LinkedIn, whether it's in first person or third, because I know that most of my friends who are producers or editors, they go to LinkedIn to pull your bio for a particular, maybe to introduce you or really to share with someone else. They don't want it in first person. They want it in third person. Now, maybe first person, you can say at the beginning of your LinkedIn what it is that you do and maybe 1 or 2 sentences, but below you can say official bio. And then that's where you have that official bio. Some people like to do it all in first person, but I'm telling you, when someone tries to bring you on a podcast and they get the bio and they just Google something, they're going to Google the LinkedIn bio. Now they have to convert it from first person I to them or he or she. And then the website, the bio that I read you was from my website. That is really like a strategic storytelling, telling you who I am, what I do, who do I work with, what kind of problems I solve, what kind of things I have been featured in, or what type of awards that I have won. That is more or less. And then always at the very end, a CTA. Tip number two is really just explain or tell your story. Really highlight your defining moments. Show your differentiating. Mine, when you heard it, it says Publishers Weekly said I was a PR guru. Okay, there's a lot of publicists, but what they said, it's like what they said. And then connect your past to your present experiences. I started out at the Detroit Free Press. I worked as a columnist for different newspapers. I worked in radio, worked in television. So connect those experiences, not just listed as a resume, but what it is that you do right now. Any questions or anything? I know room is quiet, but feel free to stop me if you have any questions about anything. Or Janelle, let me know when you want me to do any hot seats of any kind of bios that people have brought, and I can kind of dissect them and just help them tweak them to make them better. Number three, share something personal. A lot of times if you may not have like, oh, I won an Emmy or I won the Nobel Peace Prize, you want to put something in there that people can remember about you, that, you're, let's just say you're a mom to 3 beagles or something like that. Something that makes you relatable, makes yourself memorable. There's one particular client I remember in hers where she said that she is retired after 40 years working in a particular industry, and now she is refired to help other people really move up the corporate ladder. Just things like that that make you relatable, something that people will understand about who you are. And people are trying to locate you. Sometimes it's like, okay, are they, and physically too, locate you in terms of where you're hailing from. So a lot of times you'll see that I'm from Detroit, or you saw with Walter, he was from Atlanta. That's important because people need to locate you. Because what people are doing when they read your bio, one, they're reading for what can you do for them, but two, also what they have in common with you. So people have affinity for other people that they have things in common with.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Perry. We do have a question that I saw in the room.
Okay. I can hear you.
She can hear you.
What is a CTA?
I'm just about to come back.
Make sure we have a CTA at the bottom. What did you say that was?
Call to action.
Oh, call to action.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's what a lot of people leave out. A call to action would be visit this website to book Pam Perry, or visit the website to learn more on how to connect with her.
Your consultation now.
Janelle?
All that.
Yes. All right. We have a question down here. Yes. If you don't have a press kit, what could you do to replace that?
Great question.
Yep. One of the things the press needs is photos. So within your press kit, you're going to put some photos, and then you'll put in your social links. That would basically makes it easy for them to do like a little bit of research on you without them having to Google you. So that's really the whole purpose of the press kit. So a lot of times when someone is asked to speak and they do a flyer and they're really upset that they went to Google or their Facebook page and just grabbed any photo, and they're upset and they're like, why do they use that photo? I said, did you give them a press kit so they'll know what they can use? No. So that's really one of the things, is that those are the things so that they're not Googling things that you have no control over, but the press kit really acts as that. These are the links that you can use. These are the photos that can use. These are the podcasts I would like you to share. That's really it. If you've been in a podcast, it doesn't have to be, oh, I was in the, Atlanta Journal or anything like that, but that it's podcasts and links of hearing you speaking. Those are the things that you have. And photos wise, let me just say this really quick. Use vertical photos. Those are straight up and down, and horizontal. Because a lot of times they'll need photos and you'll give them all headshots and they're all vertical. But if they put it in a newsletter, you know what happens if it's just vertical? They'll cut your head off. or to cut your nail. So you want to give them horizontal and vertical, and always high resolution. You want to give them high resolution photos. So you just basically make it a link in the press kit, and it maybe can go to your Dropbox or your Google Drive where they can download them. But that's always very, very important for people to put in their press kit, because it's like your official press photos. And then links.
What's awesome is that you should have taken some photos today, and if you were in your Toastmasters meeting, they might have recorded you. So you can also use that recording
Yes.
on YouTube as another example. We have another question in the room.
I love it. You took photos today. Yes, that is so important. So never take a seatbelt selfie and send it out to folks and say, this is my photo.
After the series, where would you put your press kit? Should you put it on LinkedIn, or where is it?
Definitely put it on LinkedIn in that space that says featured, so that it's always there, right? Put it there on LinkedIn. It has a little, I could do a whole little thing on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. So a little part that says featured, and then definitely for sure, if you have a website, put it there. Or if you don't have a website, buyyourname.com, and then put it there on use something like about.me, which is free. So that way it's on an outside website, but you basically can put a link to your press kit. So about.me is free, and it's really, that's what it is. It's like your about page, which is the most visited part of your website anyway, the about page. So about.me is free.
Dr. Perry, we have a person that has brought their bio, and they would like to share that bio with you and get some live updates and tips and tricks from the famous Dr. Perry.
Please.
Are you open to doing that?
Yes. Can I want to hear it a little bit better, so that I can hear it. I can hear you, but I need to, is there a better mic that you can read into, or?
You need me to speak up, if I speak up now?
Yes, that's better. Yes, okay.
All right, I'll use my big girl voice and so will I. All right, here we go. All right.
Is the room.
I'm gonna look at that. We're on the piece of your story. Okay, and then she's gonna help you create a bio. Again, okay. Good afternoon. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you pretty good. I'll let you know if I.
Awesome. I'm Molly Davis. I am a brain tumor survivor. I just recently started a nonprofit, and part of my nonprofit is for people of color that have been diagnosed with brain tumors. Most of the time when I go to events, I do not see people that look like me. And that's part of what I want to put into my bio. I've gone to several events. I'm scheduled to attend the National Brain Tumor Society event is in May, and I have gone in 3 previous years.
Okay. So are you, let me hear the why. Are you a brain tumor
I'm a brain
survivor?
tumor survivor.
Okay. So I would lead with that. Okay. I would lead with that. And then how many years have you been a survivor? That's a really good thing.
I was diagnosed in 2018.
Okay. So a few years. So one of the things you want to say is your name, and you are a brain tumor survivor for so many years. My passion is to help other people of color, whatever that is. And then I am the founder of the nonprofit, da 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 da. So you want to lead with the why, because people want to locate you, and then they also want to know that you're a survivor. And then now you have this nonprofit. Is it 501c3 organization?
It is.
Yeah, a nonprofit 501c3, because that's important. I know that took you a while to get that.
Actually, it didn't take that long.
Oh, okay. All right. Most people.
My nonprofit is Vibrant Minds Alliance.
It's Vibrant. I'm sorry.
Yes, that is correct. Minds, MINDS Alliance.
Well, okay. All right, so the name of it. The name of it is fine to say that, and that'll probably be at the end, if you're writing it for sure, to put the website for where they can go for more information. But I'd like to know what are some of the things, when you said that I'm a brain tumor survivor for so many years, I've started a nonprofit, and then what it is that the nonprofit does. Say that right off the bat. No more than 3 things. No more than anything for anything, because people cannot remember a lot. All right. They cannot remember a lot. So even if you're standing up and you're giving an introduction of who you are, say that. Is your background any connected to anything in healthcare, or what is your background?
I came from corporate America.
So corporate America. So C-suite, corporate America, like, management, leadership.
As management, I
Okay.
supported directors, VP, and presidents.
Yeah. Okay. So then that is important too. That kind of positions you as well. So one of the things, saying your name, brain tumor survivor, after a career in corporate America. Do you still work in corporate America, or the nonprofit is your main thing?
The nonprofit is my main thing.
Okay, so let people know that I left corporate America to begin a nonprofit, and then let people know that it wasn't just corporate America, whatever, but I was a C-suite executive or a suite leader or top level leader in corporate America to start the nonprofit. You see how that positions you a little bit different, because it's not like, I was working at, CVS and I started this nonprofit, but it was a big commitment on your part to leave and to do that.
Okay, one last thing I want to share with you. I was diagnosed with aphasia, which is a speech language where you are fit.
I didn't hear any of that. It was all muffled.
I was diagnosed with aphasia, which is a speech language where it challenges you to talk.
Okay.
And it's also one of the reasons that I joined Toastmasters, because I had to learn how to talk all over again, as in speech, where if you ask me, this conversation we're having today, I would not be able to have that conversation with you at all. I could understand what you were saying to me, but I was nonverbal and I could not respond in talking.
Okay. So that part you just told me. So I didn't know that. So now you say your name. I'm a brain tumor survivor. I was nonverbal for how many months? And after, working with, that part right there is a very big part. Okay. Because now it's like, okay, not only did I have a brain tumor, but also I was nonverbal for so many months. Okay. Having left corporate America as a C-suite leader, executive, I now have a nonprofit that helps people of color, this and that.
Question, how much information should you include in your bio? I am also, after that, I have adult-set epilepsy. I became nonverbal after I had a seizure. I could talk. So I don't know how much of that
Yeah, that's like if you go on a podcast and you're going to talk a little bit deeper into that, right? Because remember that they just want to locate you where you are, and then they will ask questions. Well, do you also help other people who were nonverbal, whether they were A, B, and C? Stroke survivors as well. A lot of stroke survivors are nonverbal. So, but your story, like I went back here, really just your relatability, and revealing human elements. That's one of the things. It's not like it's a passion or hobby, but something that you share that's very personal. And that leads into why you're doing what you're doing, because people just want to know why you're doing what you're doing.
All right, thank you so much.
Good. Well, you're doing excellent. I would have had no idea. I can't see you, but to hear you, I would not have known that you went through what you went through.
All right, give it up for Robin. We have a little extra time. Does someone else want to share and maybe a bio that they have been working on? Share it and let Dr. Perry tweak it. All right.
So too, if
I'm
you
coming to
all,
you. I'm coming over, Dr. Perry. I'm running over there.
okay. Also too, with this particular tip, if you have a friend, a good friend or a colleague that usually knows you, but ask them to describe you, because of the things that they say first, maybe the things that you would not have put first. So it's interesting to see how other people see you. That's what really branding is, what people say about it, right? So make sure that you ask other people to describe you. Yes. Janelle, you had, okay.
All right, say your name and, all right. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is CQ Yepes, and my bio is the bio on my business website. And it goes like this. CQ Yepes is a bilingual licensed mortgage loan originator dedicated to helping buyers and investors secure financing that aligns with their goals, not just today, but long term. With hands-on experience in real estate transactions and buyer strategy, CQ approaches lending from a deal-first perspective. She focuses on structuring loans that support strong offers, smooth underwriting, and confident closings. Her lending services include purchase loans, first-time home buyers guidance, investor and second home financing, and strategic pre-approval consultations. Clients appreciate her clean communication, proactive problem solving, and ability to explain complex loan scenarios in a straightforward way. Whether you're buying your first home or expanding your portfolio, CQ's goal is simple: clarity, confidence, and results. CQ also serves as a dedicated point of contact for HomeSmart real estate professionals with Summit Funding Advisors, the preferred lending partner for HomeSmart in Georgia and Florida. In this role, CQ works closely with agents to support their clients with clear communication, strategic loan structuring, and collaborative approach. The key focus for CQ's practice is supporting Spanish-speaking buyers and real estate professionals. As a bilingual professional fluent in English and Spanish, she provides clear, culturally competent guidance that empowers clients to move forward with confidence. Beyond her professional work, CQ values family, wellness, and personal growth. She's a mother of two and believes that discipline, balance, and integrity are foundational, both in life and in business.
What I would like to know, could you put her bio, in the link to that bio in the chat for me? Because it was a lot and I could not hear a lot of it because it was a little muffled on my end. But what I did hear is it sounds a lot like a resume type of bio and not really giving the points of building a brand. So that's fine because you do want to have that authority on your website. But in terms of maybe having a bio that will get you booked to speak or get you as a panelist on a particular program for the Real Estate Association, we want to have a little bit more personality to it. So if you can put that in the in the chat for me so that I can actually go to her website and look at it. And what I'd like to do is really take a deeper dive at it and look at it because I understand one of the things I heard that you were bilingual.
Yeah, she is bilingual and she's in the back getting that over to you right now.
Yeah, and that part was so far down because remember we're trying to look at things that make you show your differentiation factor and so I'm not really hearing a story part. It's more or less like this is what I do and these are my professional capabilities, which is important, but it's not really building a brand, making yourself memorable. So that's one of the things that I just want to, if you can put that in the chat and I can look at that.
Here it comes.
Okay.
That's great feedback. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. And I just have one more tip after this. One of the things that will help, because we're so quick to tell people what it is that we do and how we do problem solving, this and that, that's fine. but list some of the achievements that you have done, and it is probably, I call it, it's almost like, especially for ladies, it's like a brag book, right? You sometimes ladies don't like to brag on themselves, but keep a little folder or a file of everything and brag on yourself, because when people ask you to tell me about yourself, you can go back through it and then kind of remember some of the things that you've done. You know, having their first speaking, uh, public speaking event in just 4 years ago, and now she's an award-winning da 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 da. Now she's a certified Toastmaster, a designated Toastmaster. I mean, whatever it is, but some of those uh, certifications or achievements are important to say that and then wrap it into a story. So you want to make sure that you gather that inspiration about what it is that you do, so that you can have other people excited. Okay, I'm seeing, don't see it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Is that okay? So I see the one. So I'm gonna open this up really quick. I'm gonna stop the sharing so I can look at it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'll stop the share so I can look. I didn't want to like pull your thing up. All right. Because I heard it, but I was like, I want to get my hands on that. All right. So you do say that at the beginning. Okay. So you do say that bilingual licensed mortgage or dedicated helping buyers, hands-on experience, real estate. Okay. So pronounce your name. Sequi. I messed that totally up. So what's your name?
Thank you.
CQ. Okay, so CQ. So what is the goal of this particular bio? It is to really get people who to obviously be your loan originator as well. That's really, they want you to be your mortgage person, right?
Yes, to have a little bit of background on me.
Okay, what is, looking at that, what was your reason for going into this field? Give me like some examples of why this is important to you. Did your family, were they already in this? Did you come from a family that home ownership wasn't a thing? Why do you have an affinity for this particular field?
I got licensed in real estate 20 years ago by chance. It was offered to me by the VP of Metro Brokers. He just said that I would be a great real estate agent, and I was. And then I traveled out of the country for 4 years, and I came back August, and I thought I want to do something different and relate it to the industry because it is what I know. And an offer presented itself from Summit Funding, which is the loan company, the mortgage company that I work with. They were looking for a Spanish-speaking loan officer, and they offered the training, and I said, great, I'll do it. And that's how I ended up being a mortgage loan originator.
So do you find joy in that in terms of helping people? How many people have you helped that typically were not ready for a mortgage, that you help them get a mortgage, people who typically aren't going to be home buyers? I mean, I want to hear some of those type of things, because you were a real estate agent and now you're on the other side. Was it because you saw a gap?
Well, I got into real estate because I bought my first house when I was 21 years old, and I learned what happened. There was not a lot of honesty in how my transaction happened. I learned later that I overpaid so many fees, and I just thought I wanted to do it ethically, and I wanted to save the people from going through that same situation.
That part. Okay. So just a little bit, what you just said gives you a differentiating type of thing, because you bought your first house at 21.
Yes.
How often does that happen?
Probably not very often.
That doesn't happen very often.
Right.
And so that's really like so let me just give you a good example. So I'm using Chat GPT because I had to pull it out of you. So Siku understands that buying your first home should feel exciting and not overwhelming. Siku understands that deeply because she bought her first home at just 21 years old. She knows what it feels like to be young, ambitious, and ready to build something of your own. And she knows how confusing the process can seem when no one clearly explains your options. That clearly experiences the shape of her mission. Help first-time home buyers move from uncertainty into confidence. Today, as a bilingual licensed mortgage loan originator, you see how your story kind of leads into it now?
Yes, so much better.
Yeah, because you have, that's what you live.
Yes.
That's what you live. I was like, okay, well, let me, it's like, that's your story. And then basically you like this area because of the stability, the foundation of wealth. I mean, you could tell all the other things that you do, but when you're licensed, everybody else has the same credentials because you're licensed, right?
Mhm.
So, but your story is your story. That right there, knowing how frustrating it was, like what you just said, I don't want people to go through that. That right there. And then people who speak Spanish, they definitely will come to you because they know you can get those are your people. They get you get them, they get you. So that's one of the things too. So I'll send this back to you so you can actually have it. But the beginning of it is what captures my attention and sets your brand apart. Because I didn't really hear like it was like a resume. I was like, okay, that's nice, but like why? And so now that part you told me is really important. And that's what made me want to work with you because I know you would get me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Perry. Give it up for CPU.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, she had it in her. I just had to pull it out. Sometimes a publicist.
Out our bio section, our brand story section. You made it so much more than just writing a bio, Dr. Perry.
Oh, good.
Do you have any closing words for us?
Yes, I do. I do. And let me get back to get back to it because I closed everything down trying to look at CPs. Okay, so let me go over here, and I'm gonna send that to you. Okay, so don't go away. Like it'll get to you today. All right. So one of the things, going back to this.
That's how all this comes together.
Hold on, really quick.
It's going to be a heavy hybrid species over next year.
I'm trying to share here.
Like
What happened to this?
How does? Yeah, it'll be its own.
It's not letting me share. Zoom, workplace. Okay.
Wants to share?
Okay. How about I go over here? Duh. Too many things minimalized. I'm one of those people that likes to minimize everything. All right. So anyway, so the last tip is use action verbs. So a lot of times, like I was saying, like CT to hers was like really like the words were good, but they weren't really action. You need to add some visualization. So show results, not just titles. Demonstrate transformation. She demonstrated her own transformation, improve expertise. So the last thing is that we want to have bios, written bios. We want to have maybe always in third person, short, a mini bio, a long bio, and a micro bio. A micro bio is what you would use if someone say, hey, I'd like you to write an article about how home buyers can buy a home the first time. And then you write the article, but then at the very end, it's like maybe 2 or 3 sentences with a CTA, with a call to action. So always have a micro bio because they'll say, can you write an article and then send a bio? Well, if you don't send them a micro bio, they'll pick anything. So you want to make that. And basically the main thing is that it focuses on your audience, give it a story, proof of impact, your personality, and then a strong call to action. So this right here, Janelle, is about speaker match. And basically one of the things when speakers, when there's a call for speakers, you need to be ready with the right things. The right things obviously is a bio where people can know how to work with you, hire you, book you, and follow you. And this right here is a speaker match where we match speakers to speaking opportunities. So that's the QR code to go there as well if you want to take a screenshot of that. But that really helps you where you are seen by event planners. Sometimes they're paid, sometimes they are just to get on the stage in front of your ideal customer. But you definitely want to be found in Speaker Match so that people can know that you are a speaker and you have a subject matter that you're expert in. So those are the things as well. So that's really it. That's all I have. It's 1:51, but I really enjoyed speaking with you guys. and hearing the bios, and I will make sure that I send CT those her bio. That really is add more personality to it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Perry.